Hi, my name is Jessica Donnelly. I'm a student in Professor Jeff South's Mass Communication course at Virginia Commonwealth University. And for Banned Book Week, I would like to acknowledge the book The Catcher in the Rye. It is written by J.D. Salinger and published in 1951. This book centers around the main character, Holland Caulfield. He is 16 years old and just got kicked out of his fourth college for failing. The book goes over the 3-day span of his journey back and in New York City. But it's not just his physical journey that they focus on, but the journey in his mind of what it means and the pain and the confusion and the chaos of being that age and transitioning into adulthood. We see this book come up being banned in Oklahoma. A teacher got fired for integrating it into his classroom, an 11th grade classroom actually, which is when I learned about this book, because of language, sexual content, drug references, and moral issues. But what we have to understand is that just acknowledging those things does not mean that it's advocating them. It's important that in books that we challenge what the author is writing, challenge what the character is doing. Just because a character is smoking a cigarette doesn't mean that the book is saying everyone go smoke cigarettes. Reading does not mean accepting. It means that we are looking for underlying themes and how we can apply this to our reality and ourselves as well. Holland has a big issue with the phoniness of adulthood. He thinks adulthood is just a fraud, everyone's fake, they're not true to themselves, and they just lose themselves once they get into that stage of their life. He really desires to be a catcher in the rye. He wants to protect the innocence of children. And in a way, the people who are banning and censoring this book want to do that as well. But as we see in the book, it doesn't work out for Holland, and he understands that he has to grow up. He has to acknowledge reality. And I believe that that is the same thing that people who want to ban this book have to acknowledge as well. This is best illuminated in a quote from the book. I'm standing on the edge of some crazy cliff. What I have to do, I have to catch everybody if they start to go over the cliff. I mean, if they're running and they don't look where they're going, I have to come out from somewhere and catch them. That's all I do all day. I just be the catcher in the rye and all. I know it's crazy, but that's the only thing I really like to be. I know it's crazy. And it is crazy. You can't live your life ignoring what is happening in reality. Sex, drugs, cigarettes, and different moral issues is what reality is. And this author isn't just turning a blind eye to it, but he's acknowledging that and showing how cigarettes and sex isn't the answer. I mean, as a teenager, you look at those things and equate them as adulthood. But the author is challenging that doesn't mean that is the right side of adulthood. So I think it's really important for teens to read this book especially because they too are going through this transitional period in their life. And to read this book and see, okay, maybe cigarettes aren't good because I'm becoming an adult. Maybe sex isn't what I thought it was. Holland also mentions sex in the 9th chapter. Sometimes I can think of very crummy stuff I wouldn't mind doing if the opportunity came up. I can even see how it might be quite a lot of fun, in a crummy way. And if you were both sort of drunk and all, to get a girl and squirt water or something all over each other's faces. The thing is though, I don't like the idea. It stinks, if you analyze it. I think if you really don't like the girl, you shouldn't horse around with her at all. And if you do like her, then you're supposed to like her face. I think that's a really important quote because people are saying, we need to ban Catcher in the Rye. We need to censor it. Kids can't learn about it. It has sex in it. Well, they obviously haven't even read it because he just now said, although he's addressing sex, he doesn't like it in that term of hurting others and in a term of exploitation. So overall, I feel this book definitely helped me a lot in my life come to terms with adulthood, and it was nice to have another voice in a book that's going through the same thing, and I'm sure teenagers around the world who are reading this book feel the same way. And I'm grateful that this book hasn't been banned, at least where I am, and I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to read it and share it, and I hope all of you read it as well. Thank you.